Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Tristan, Barrocks, the digital storyteller, and I'm super excited. I'm not excited. Guys, I gotta tell you the truth. This week has been really hard for me. This week and a half has been really hard for me. After watching the George Floyd video, it changed me. It changed me. I don't know yet if it's for the better or for the worse. But I can't just make videos about cameras and about audio gear and about software and about all these other things while real issues are happening. As a creative, as a digital storyteller, it's my responsibility to tell stories that matter, tell stories that speak truth to power, tell stories that give people additional or different perspectives. This issue of race relations is not just an American issue. It is a Canadian issue. It is a South African issue. It's an Australian issue. It's a UK issue. It's a Russian issue. It's a world issue. When we're talking about Black Lives Matter, when we're talking about Black bodies being valued and having respect, and Black lives having respect and value in our society, we're talking about a human right. We're talking about human decency. We're talking about the value of somebody that doesn't look like us, may not have the same background as us. It's just about having a level of common respect and decency for each other. I want you to understand that if you are not Black, like I am, if you are not a person of color, if you have never been accosted by police for the way that you look or dress or the car that you're driving or the neighborhood that you're walking in, I'm not saying that you're the problem, but I am saying that if you are silent, you are contributing to that problem and to that system. And what I want to challenge you on is not to feel bad and walk away, but to be proactive. This is an opportunity not to just voice your displeasure of rioting and looting and not voice your frustration of how you feel or how bad you feel. This is a time to sit down at the table and have the conversation with your Black friends. Ask questions. This is not the time to lead the conversation, but this is the time to be led by your Black community, your Black friends, your Black counterparts, and allow them to educate you on the realness of our experience. And once you're educated on that, once you feel like you have a broader perspective and understanding of what it means when we say Black Lives Matter, then I would encourage you to take the next step and to tell the stories that matter. Keep the conversation going. We all have cameras. We all have audio gear. We all have computers. We all have talents, skills, and abilities. We all have a purpose. We all have ways to be able to communicate and connect to audiences that maybe some of our Black counterparts don't have the opportunity to do. So what I'm asking you to do, if you're in another community, is to step up, to step out, to educate yourself, to humble yourself enough to say, I don't know because I've never been Black. Maybe there's some truth into what these people are saying. There's 1,000, 2,000, 8,000, millions of people saying the same thing. Maybe there's some truth in that. And once you get an ounce, a quarter, a cup, a full cup, 2 cups, 8 cups, whatever you need, however many conversations you need to have that will legitimize the feelings and understanding and allow you to empathize with our community and our plight, then I would encourage you to make those films, to make those videos, to speak out. I know that this is not a popular topic. I know that people just want to be lost in other topics and in other things and forget about all the stuff that's going on in the world. But I'm Black first. I'm sorry. Newsflash, I'm a Black guy. I live in Canada, one of the greatest countries in the world, greatest nations in the world, but it still has racism, and we're still dealing with inequities between other communities, and the Black community. And right now, we need to have the conversation. Whether you like it or not, whether you're gonna unsubscribe or not, whether you're gonna dislike this video or not, as a creative community, we need to come together, because here's the thing. We have the ability to control the narrative. CNN, Fox News, CBC, CNBC, Global, CTV News, those are not the only outlets and platforms that are allowed to speak truth to power or allowed to tell their perspective of the truth. We have the ability to tell stories that matter, to shape the narrative, to educate people, to inspire people, to excite people, to bring people together. So that's what I'm encouraging you to do. Years ago, probably about 3 or 4 years ago, I did a project called, Black Man in a White World. And when people saw it, it left a bad taste in their mouth. Not necessarily when they saw it, I should say, but when they heard the title of it. Because they're like, what are you talking about, a white world? All you're doing is, you're just bringing division to our community and blah, blah, blah. And people didn't understand that what I was trying to say was that as a Black person, things land different. We have to manage our emotions. We have to manage your emotions. We have to understand the temperature of a room. We have to gauge how we're being perceived, how we're perceiving ourselves, because the constructs and the systems of this society were not designed for us to necessarily thrive and be seen as equal. So when we say we're Black men and women and people in a white world or white society, what we're saying is the structures that are in place, the systems that are in place, were not designed for us to thrive. We found ways to break through, but it wasn't designed for us. The best way for me to describe it is, it's like grabbing a suit off the rack and then going to your tailor to make it customized and fit you better. The suit off the rack doesn't fit you the way it's supposed to fit you. That's why you have to go to the tailor to customize it, and you make it work. But it was never designed really for your body. But when you go to a tailor that does bespoke suits, you're creating a suit from scratch, a garment from scratch that was designed and catered for your body. So what I'm challenging you on, especially if you are a white brother or a white sister or a white creative, you have to understand that even though you may have not been born with a lot of wealth, a lot of affluence, your whiteness allowed you to be able to have a level of privilege where your voice, based upon just your skin tone, was elevated, was believed, was valued more than my voice was. And that doesn't make you inherently bad. But I need you to understand that. And I need you to work with me and have conversation with me so we can work through that together, so that we can change the constructs that we have right now in our society. Lastly, I need every person that's feeling me on this video to make a video themselves, to talk about how they feel about this, to keep the conversation going, to challenge some of my points, to wrestle and to think about in a thoughtful way about how they feel about the situation of George Floyd and his murder and the murder of many other Black bodies. I also want you to tag those content creators that have 200,000 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers, 1 million subscribers. Tag them. If they haven't said anything about the situation, tweet at them. Ask them to make a video. Ask them to share their views. We cannot Clorox this conversation. We can't just clean it and bleach it away and just make it all pure white and fuzzy. At a certain point, we have to realize that the corporate dollar and just selling to everybody and being able to have amazing relationships with everybody cannot out-trump murder and devaluing life. If we're valuing the dollar of our corporations and our corporate sponsors and partners over what's true and what's just and what's right, then I can't be a part of this community. I have to believe that there's something greater than the almighty dollar, than getting the opportunity to review the next big camera or piece of tech or gear. So if I never get another sponsorship, I'm okay. Because here's the thing, I'm black first. I'm not a YouTuber first. I don't wake up and people say, hey, that's Tristan. He's a YouTuber. Appreciate you guys. Would love to hear your comments below. Would love to continue this conversation. I'm welcoming all perspectives. Even if you don't agree with me, that's okay. Even if you dislike this video, that's okay. But I need to speak to the way I feel as a content creator, the way I feel as a black person, and how we can move forward. Thank you so much. Stay creative, stay positive, stay inspired, and stay safe. Peace.